Hello, my name's Terry. My call sign is called for Papa Oscar Papa. And this tutorial for Log4om version 2 is all about setting up the program configuration in the options. So you go to settings, program configuration, and there's the program configuration screen. We'll go through these one at a time, starting at the beginning here. First of all, note at the top here, you can save the configuration changes without exiting, or you can save the configuration settings and apply them and exit the configuration window, or you could just exit the configuration and abandon any changes you may have done. So in the first tab we have basic settings. Check for updates. Will tell you if you need to update to the latest version. And send statistics will be very helpful to us if you can send statistics to our server to let us know what version you're using and so on. Internet connection is automatic. You set the distance to either miles or kilometres. Default log level, you may ask from time to time to change this. If you have a problem, we might ask you to change the trace or debug in the attempts to help you out. And certain confirmations have downloadable QSL cards like EQSL, and this is the path to the folder where you want those attachments saved. And any future attachments we might provide, like recordings and so on. And this is the maximum number of rows you'll show in the logbook screen. I've got it set to 7,000. You might want to set it to 5,000 or whatever. The default is 5,000. The next tab is to edit the program configuration. If you get into any trouble, this is a useful place to come, because you can reset the factory settings, remove all user files you might have created, reset the grid layouts, the logbook and so on, map and window position, so that you're back to the start situation. Program scheduler. As you probably realise, Log4om uses a lot of data files, databases and so on, and this is the schedule for the updating of those files. The list of the files we need to update are on the left, and you can change the interval here by changing the days, hours, minutes and seconds between updates. This one is running on the system startup. Next is a user configuration. You can have many configurations with Log4om. You might have one configuration for portable use, another one for demonstrating, another one for the club, another one for a special activity, and your normal setup. I've got a couple in here. One's for demonstration purposes, another is a test. I hit the wrong one for testing. So quite a useful thing to be able to change the configuration. This is the station information screen that you would have filled in when you first installed the program. Try and complete as much of this as you can. But the left hand side must be completed. You've also got a provision here for setting up your own club or associations. You can add these to the list if you want to. So if you have a 1010 number, stick it in there. On the right hand side here is all your postal details and special interest groups, which may be used from time to time if you're using a macro in WinKey or something like that. So it will send the information automatically without you repetitively having to type it in. But, I shouldn't have done there. Okay, my references. I'm on an island, obviously England's an island, so I've got my OTA references in there. But you can choose whichever one you want to be. SOTA references might be up on a SOTA, up on top of a hill, and add it to there. So that these references are recorded in a logbook where you were, what you were doing at the time you had the QSO. And next one is the configuration of the station. Add as many configurations as you like. I've just got my 2 radios in here, and I use 100 watts of power, and I have 2 antennas, 132 foot doublet and then fed half wave. for 60 metres, so you can add as many in there as you like. It's handy for recording what you were using at the time of QSO. Confirmations, this is all about the QSL confirmation, so it's how they're handled. You might want to mark the QSOs being sent to QRZ.com, or they've not been sent to QRZ.com as no, and received as no. You might decide that you want them requested or something other, or even invalid. You can save them from there. And this is the recording of what you want to see shown in the statistics view in the main user interface. This show by worked by QSL received, EQSL logbook of the world received, and so on. Quite a choice there. This is the database window where you will set up your new database when you started the program. Once you can set up additional ones should you so desire, just click on the new button. Don't forget, when you finish doing anything, remember to save. You save the configuration if you're going to continue, or if you finish save and applying this, you're out of it. External services, this is the uploads to QRZ, Logbook of the World and so on. And you fill in the information here so that automatic uploads can be done on your behalf. So you can click a box you want it automatically upload every time you have a QSO to any of these facilities, except the Logbook of the World, which only will upload on the closing of the program at the end of a session. LOTW don't like individual uploads because it overloads their server, especially in time of a contest. User preferences, you may not want to show all bands in the cluster, for instance, so uncheck the bands you don't want to show, and the same applies to modes. And your grid square length, I like to use 6 digits, some only use 4, and I like to set the QSO time, start time, as soon as the cursor leaves the call sign field. I don't have to worry about pressing a button, it just does it automatically. Next is the CAT interface, where you'll choose either OmniRig or HamRig, or maybe nothing at all, and automatically starts CAT on opening, and everything there to do with the operation of CAT. Cluster, you can change your cluster colours, the highlights with the workstation before, where to on the same mode, and you have a default situation. You can click the default button, the colours will go back to what they were before. Easy to change. Just want to change the background colour, choose that one. Want to change the text colour, choose that one. Choose your colour and change it. It's all about cluster, about auto starting, how many spots to show and so on. Info providers, this is your lookup situation with QRZ or HamQTH or QRZ-CQ. Choose which is the primary one for your lookup, and a fail-safe secondary lookup as well. And make sure you fill in the details of your username, password, and to check they're working, just click this button to the right, and you'll see a green check up comes up, as long as the connection's being made okay. So both of mine are working fine. You can choose a selection of maps, or you can add your own map and use your own use a defined world map by selecting one of your own in the folder somewhere. I like to use this one here, the alternate 2 one, find quite attractive. Here we will place your backup settings, where you want it to back up to, the number of backups to keep. In this case I've got it set to 14, and also enable additional backups, which I've got in a separate position, and the rotation I've got set to 20. Information about VoACAP, if you want to watch that, to check the box and check the required signal to noise ratio for reliability. I've got mine set at 65 because I've got a rather meagre aerial, just a dipole, but you can change this to suit your own conditions. Automatic startup, you see you can set up here to start a program automatically. Just type the name in. There might be a JT alert or something like that, or whatever, and you can find the file and fill in all the details, click save, or in the case of WSJT is automatically set to start. The file name is there, WSJT.exe in the folder. It's enabled to start automatically when I start Log4om. And when it comes to software integration, a whole interesting ball game here where you can either have inbound or outbound connections to other programs. So I've got selected N1MM, the contest logger. I also look at WSJT log and JT messages, and I send information to the version 1 of Log4om, so that I've got a duplicate of everything. You can have a UDP proxy, and you can also do remote control by using a remote control port. It's all there to be used. Antenna rotator, you can use a PSD rotator, and that's a very good program for azimuth elevation of your rotator, and you can send the frequency to your step IR if you have one, lucky boy. Finally, you can monitor an ADIF file from another program and withdraw information about QSOs being made in that and add them to the logbook in Log4om, or you can send an ADIF output file to somewhere, or you can actually post it on the internet if you wish to do so. Plenty of choices there. Once you've completed all the setup, save and apply, job done. Within a couple of seconds everything's been refreshed, remembered, and you're ready to go again. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and there will be more tutorials to come.